Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us on this Sunday afternoon or evening for the weekly podcast. Appreciate y'all stopping by. Hopefully, you guys are all doing well. Looking forward to another good discussion with you all. This time, we're going to be taking a look at what we actually got with Update 6.2 on the live servers. The latest event, Gladiator Championship, and this new crazy idea that they're calling drones. But anyway, we'll be talking about all of that here. And let me go ahead and pull Islander into the discussion straight away so we can get things going for you all. Hey, what's up, Eddie? How you doing?
Doing good, buddy. How about yourself?
Doing all right. Hopefully you survived the Independence Day celebrations.
I sure did. Right here at my house playing WR and a few other games. And didn't do very much. Didn't go nowhere. Avoided all contact with anybody anywhere. Just trying to fly as low under the radar as I possibly can with all this crap we got going around right now.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. I just hung out at home with the family around the fire pit and just kind of chilled out. But so got a couple of topics that we're going to get into here today with the viewers. Mainly we're going to be taking a look at what we actually got with Update 6.2 on the live servers. Taking a look at the new event, which is crazy long, the Gladiator Championship. And the new drones that Pixonic is looking at adding to War Robots. But before we get into that, I do want to give a quick congratulations to Gods Corp for pulling off a win in the Android tournament. And I've got the up on screen here the finals and the breakdown and standings for the clans that participated in the this weekend's finals for the Faction Wars of 2020. And big thank you to all of the folks that helped to actually coordinate the tournament. I think they did a great job with that. But as you can see there, Gods Corp came out ahead at number 1, followed by Saw, Goldmine, and Artemis rounding out the top 4, and they should all be getting prizes from Pixonic. And Elite Outlaw and America were rounding out the finalists. So overall, great job to everybody that participated, and congratulations to those of you that came out with the wins.
Yeah, it was a really good tournament. I was on comms most of the time. I was listening in, just going back and forth, just hearing how guys communicate, seeing what they do. It was guys trading punches left and right. I mean, it was really good. Nobody seemed to have really dominated the competition. Several teams took losses, going back and forth or splitting the wins 1-1. So it was really, really interesting. All right, guys picked up a couple of 2-0 wins, and that put them way ahead in the point. Not way ahead, but it just gave them a nice, comfortable lead in the point standing to go for the win. So shout out to my boys out there, Gods Corp. Great job, guys, and great job to everybody that was in the tournament. And of course, the guys that were putting it all together, they were just nonstop on the Discord, going at it, going over different things, make sure that everybody was in line. Make sure that nobody was cheating or using their own hangers. So they did a really, really good job of managing that tournament. So shout out to them as well.
Right on. And just real quick, I see Lightning there, Danny in the chat. Welcome to the podcast. Anyway, he'll be joining us. I think the 26th is the podcast. Anyway, the last Sunday of the month, and we'll be doing a Scorpion giveaway with him on that podcast. So looking forward to that. But a quick reminder for those of you that are interested in picking up some of these old bots from the giveaways that we're doing. I'm giving away golems, and I think Danny and Kitty are giving away boas or shootses or something. I don't quite remember the whole breakdown, but I know AD Gaming and Adrian are also participating in the giveaways. So make sure you guys swing by those various channels and enter in for the old bot giveaways. All right, so 6.2 dropped, hit a day earlier, or maybe a day and a half, 2 days earlier for Android than it did for iOS. I still haven't seen if we are back to playing together. I know for the updates, they do kind of turn off that feature where we have the crossplay, and it's just because, can't really play against an opponent that has access to other stuff or is on a different version of the game. But what are your thoughts overall so far of 6.2?
I mean, I'm liking it. I'm not a big fan of the pilots and the upgrades. Why we got over that. That is one thing that has been a little bit of a turnoff for me as far as the 6.2. The Gladiator Arena, that's a lot of fun. I've always enjoyed arena play. I just can't see myself sitting there for 70 rounds of arena. I will get up to about where we get the platinum. I'll go and stop there. I still have other Stellar Halos, and I got a Stellar Phantom that I haven't even upgraded yet, and I really don't see myself getting around to that. I did make a point or topic to say in my last video that something like that, where we're going to have a Gladiator Arena, is going to be unique. We've never had something like that before. And you're going to have to go through 70 wins, being in the top 3 in the arena, okay? I think it should be a unique prize. I think it should be something for a 2020 skin or a 2020 robot or whatever it is that you want to do, but just a unique skin that you ain't never going to get in the game again, all right? It's going to be a one-time deal, and the only way to get it is to participate in this arena or this gladiator play and earn it. There's no other way. You cannot buy it. You cannot do anything with it. You can give it whatever little perks or pluses that Pixar would want to give it, but it's a one-time shot, and if you want it, you got to play for it. And I would like to see them put something special like that into an event like this, not just something that people can pick up in the black market or picked up in an operation or something like that. I wish it was something unique.
Right. And I kind of agree with you on that. I mean, it's the first time that they're actually doing an event like this. Let's see if I can find it there. The Gladiator Championship. It's like, I don't know. We have the actual event, which is where you get the tokens and you have the 3 tasks each day. And it's going for like 48 days in total or something. Like a crazy long time. I think it might be just a little bit too long. Personally, I think they're kind of overdoing it there, but they're doing this new, like, it's kind of an event within the event, where and for those of you, I imagine most viewers are aware of it. For 10 days they added this new task in the game, and you have to get top 3 finish in the arena, which I think is cool that they're tying something to the arena. They're gonna get more people to play it, because personally I don't ever do the arena. It's usually kind of just about as boring as the what's the other one, the one that you don't have to pay gold for.
Free for all?
No.
Free for all's not boring.
No, the
skirmish.
Yeah, it's about as boring as a skirmish, as far as That's my thought on it anyway. But it does give people an opportunity to grind out a little bit of gold, which I think is cool. And I do like that they're kind of tying something into it, but kind of like you said, they should come up with like a really unique prize for it, especially considering the number of games people are going to have to play. I'm not good at math, but I'm sure one of the viewers probably do the math real quick. But if you were to actually try and get that top prize where you have to be in the top 3 of 70 different matches, and you're paying 100 gold per match to enter, what is that, like 7,000 gold that you're gambling just just to get a Stellar Phantom. I mean, come on. I don't think that the folks at Pixonic are really understanding what they're asking people to do. I think it's actually kind of ridiculous, just the number of top 3 finishes or number of total matches really that they're asking people to play. And considering that they're giving a Stellar Phantom, something that most people that, have paid to play the game, at least a small amount, just at a minimum through the, paying the $15 a month or whatever through the operation, they probably have that robot already. So, I mean, great idea as far as the concept of having an event within the event that drives people to play a feature of the game that most people don't play. But yeah, I think they kind of blew it with the prizes and the requirements. Now maybe if they did, like you say, give like a unique robot and weapon set that you could only get it through that, then maybe it would be worth grinding out 70 wins. But yeah, it's I don't know. It's pretty ridiculous as far as what they're actually asking people to do. Though, if somebody...
Yeah, it should be the Scorpion. I mean, they're giving away Scorpions through the YouTubers and through the tournament. So Scorpions are already starting to be handed out. They could have put a Scorpion in this event that would have had a unique skin just for this event. If you completed it, you'd be the only one to have it. That's unique. That would be something special, and that would make me go and grind out the 70 wins in Arena. But for the prizes they have, I'll be stopping at 15 wins just to get the 100 platinum.
Now, granted, I mean, if you actually did grind 70 wins out, I mean, you would earn a ton of gold. I mean, you'd make a lot of gold profit doing that. Assuming you didn't, end up having to play like 300 matches just to get there. But, I mean, you never know. I mean, some of these matches are, I don't know. That's why I think those kind of matches, the skirmish and usually the arena, they're repetitive. They get boring because, you've got a certain number of robots and you can't respawn. So you kind of take a lot of the tactics out that you would normally have with a mode like that, something that like you get used to in like free-for-all. I don't know. I like the idea, but I think there's a lot of room for improvements. And I would invite anybody that, is in the chat here or listening to this show, if you like the idea or you would like to see improvements made in a certain way, give that in-game feedback to them. Let them know, because when they're testing a feature like this, they kind of rely on their data and the feedback that they get in the game. So it's kind of an opportunity for you guys to maybe have your voice heard a little bit on it. I know I'm going to be giving them feedback, specifically stating that, 70 wins, that's ridiculous. Anybody that actually needs a Stellar Phantom probably doesn't spend much money on the game, so they probably don't have a whole lot of gold. So it's kind of a rough position to put them in. But I don't know, that's just my opinion on it. Let's see. Go back to the top here. So also along with update 6.2, we did get a new map, Factory, and they do say that they're going to be increasing the likelihood of getting that map, which I think is a good idea when there's a new map, because we need some time and practice on it. But I could tell you, I haven't really seen it come up too many times. I mean, I did a whole stream the other night, and we saw that map once in 2 hours. That's...
Wow. Yeah, we've got it quite a bit. Now in free-for-all, I get it almost regularly, and it is a dream map for free-for-all. I mean, there's not all that much cover. I mean, there's good close corridors where you can brawl in, and move around. I like it. I really do like the new map. It is definitely a brawler style map.
Yeah, the one game I did have on it, I did enjoy. Other than not really being familiar with exact placement and everything of the beacons and whatnot, but I mean it was enjoyable. So I look forward to playing it, but yeah, I mean I would love to actually see that in the lineup at least more frequently than Yamantau, because
Yeah.
if I'm hitting Yamantau like 4 out of 15 matches, and only seeing that one once, that doesn't seem like it's really got a higher chance of landing. But overall, I think it looks good. I do wish that they would have changed the color of the asset a little bit more, especially for those folks that do play on small devices like phones. It's
It
pretty
kind of
much,
blends in.
yeah, it's the same color as the dirt, so it's kind of hard to see where the acid is. So I would like to see a different color there, and I did give that feedback when it was on the test server, but unfortunately, this is what we have. But overall, I definitely give a thumbs up to the map. It'll hopefully break things up and keep me off Yamantau and Springfield, because those two maps need to go.
Yeah.
All right, so we talked a little bit about the Gladiator Championship, but what do you think of the prizes in the Gladiator Championship, the actual event, not the 10-day sub event, which I really wish, I don't know, the naming thing is really confusing on this, because the actual month and a half long event is called Gladiator Championship, but so is that little 10-day event that's inside of it. But as far as like the prize pool for the chests in the game, what are your thoughts on
Uh,
there?
I'll be honest with you. I really thought the jump module, which is not a prize, I just want to cover that real quick before we get into the prizes. I really thought that the jump module was going to be some type of gimmick that maybe we would use for fun, but it would not really actually make it into high level play. Has seriously surprised me. All right, a Ravana can beat a Phantom to a beacon with that jump. It's really, really, really quick when it comes to it. So you're seeing a whole lot more variations of that coming into play.
Right. And as far as the jump module, I mean, I did experience, a lot more people using it than I thought would be using it. But, I think at least half of them are, using it a lot on different things like Ravana's and whatnot, just because it is new. There is some tactical use for it, I can see. I mean, like a Loki. Even on, going back to Yamantau, a Loki starting off can make it to the center beacon and have it turned and light a campfire and roast some marshmallows, using that jump module before a Phantom can get there from the opposing team.
Right.
So there is some, more, I guess, tactical advantage to using it for some limited, situations than I initially thought there would be. But I was seeing, people putting it on everything, and I think, just because it's new, people are going to do that. But I think after a couple weeks, it is going to diminish, I guess, in how much we see it on the battlefield. That's just my thoughts on it. Because I was seeing a lot of people just, using it and, going squad against squad, people using it on, Ravana's, yeah, the Ravana can kind of get across the map a little quicker, but its survivability is greatly reduced by not having the phase shift. So I think eventually a lot of people are going to take them off those robots, but that's just
Yeah.
my opinion. I don't know. I mean,
But getting back to your question, as far as the prize pool of what we can win, are you talking about that? You're referring to the special deliveries, correct, Chief?
right, the actual
Yeah.
event.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I kind of like it. I mean, we had the Scorpion. I'm glad to see that they did not stick any more Ravanas in there, or I don't believe that we have uh, Virginia Walker in there, which I was kind of happy to see. So we have the Scorpion. We have the pilot for the Scorpion, which happens to be the pilot for the Phantom, who seems to flip roles. That kind of just threw me off on the lore. I mean, I think they could have come up with something better, like her twin sister or her younger sister, or something to that effect, versus making it her flipping scripts. And now you have her in your Phantom and you have her in your Scorpion. So that's just kind of trippy. I mean, it's no big deal, but I think they could have came up with just a little bit better lore for that particular pilot. The leech, yeah, it's different, it's unique, but I think we all have leeches, and I don't see anybody really taking this leech to upgrade it unless they just have to have it. The Nucleons, the Quaker, pretty cool. I mean, they're different. They're not really all that impressive as far as looks are concerned, but they are what they are. The cloaking unit, that's cool, and the overdrive unit is, I believe, a must-have in the game right now. So all in all, I'm happy. I'm still not as happy to see all these components, still in there. That still kind of throws me out for a loop. I'm not a big fan of the components, but it is what it is. They're there. I just hope we just have a better odds of getting a prize than we did the last time around.
Right. And, I personally, I haven't bought any tokens or anything, so I can't comment on, the likelihood of getting something good. But like you, I was very, very happy to see that there wasn't a Nightingale or Virginia Walker in there again. Because, I mean, come on now. Get rid of that one out of the events already.
I believe they made it over to the daily deals now.
So, very thankful to see that. Nice to see the new robot in there with the Scorpion and the Scorpion pilot, of course. It's kind of nice that they're bringing the pilot out with the robot now. That's nice to see. Not too sure on the quality of the legendary pilot or its ability. You get a little bit of a heal after using the Scorpion's ability. I guess it's kind of nice, but certainly not game-changing. But being that it is a legendary pilot, there is definitely some benefit, I guess, to that.
Yeah.
Especially with the changes to the pilots. The components, yeah, I agree. I mean, kind of sick of seeing them in there, but I guess we're kind of stuck with them. But I would like to see still at least get rid of the 500 and 1000 level for components. Just put the 2500 in there. It just puts too much, increases the chance too much of getting components, in my opinion. The new, or it's not called Disguise module anymore. They changed it to, what's the name of it?
Self-heal, or hold on, I'll check it out right now. It is the cloaking unit.
Cloaking unit, yeah. They changed the name of it to cloaking unit. We've talked about this one already. I don't really see much use for it, but fine, it's in the game, whatever. But yeah, I do like that they at least did leave a chance for us to win some more of the God, brain stopped working. The whatever units, man, too many units. I don't like their naming with all these things. But anyway, the good module, the one that gives you damage.
The overdrive.
Yeah, overdrive unit.
That is a must-have right now. It is. I didn't predict it would be all that when we first got it, but the amount of extra damage you get, and the fact that they can stack, and it, of course, it increases the activation bar, has really made them impressive. So if you don't have them and you get them, start upgrading them as soon as you get them, because they are more than worth it. Even at level 1, they are higher than I believe they're higher than, or they're right there with the
level 1, they're the same as a maxed out thermo nuke. Of course, thermo nukes are always active from the time you drop your robot, so you don't have to deal with that. But I agree, they're definitely a better investment than a thermonuclear reactor at this point. Excuse me. But yeah, there was also a new Well, here we go. The accelerator module that got added
Yeah,
in
that's
to
the
the
accelerator.
Titan box. Yeah, whatever. It's in the game. I don't really see too many people using it. We might see one here or there, but gonna be hard to convince people to lose 27% damage or health on their Titan to switch to that.
Yeah, and I believe at the start of it, before you start upgrading, it's only 3 kilometers per hour or more. So I mean, you're not going to notice at all that you actually have the accelerator on at level 1. Now, by the time you get to level 25, depends on how much that goes up per deal. If you get a 28% speed increase, I would consider something like that for free for all, where I have a hard time chasing down certain bots that can just walk around in circles around barriers, and I cannot keep up. Something like this would definitely be a plus. But would I add it in for team competitive play or team play? No, I don't think I would. I think I would rather keep either the armor or the firepower. I really wouldn't need the speed all that much.
Right. And then you did mention the limited edition Quarker and Nucleon.
Yes, I did.
I agree. They don't
Yes, I
really
did.
look all that special, but
No, they don't. I think they could have done a lot better job on the artwork than that. I mean, that's just me personally.
right. But it was nice to see them add a weapon in when they also buff it, because they both got a buff, a sizable buff.
And a solid buff, and it needed it. Well, I'm not so much sold on the Quirker as I was for the Nucleon. The Nucleon seriously needed it.
Right. Well, I think they all would have been okay if they would have just made the change to the mechanic for overheating that they did, because that was a huge buff by itself.
Yeah.
But then they went and gave them, a 15-20% damage increase along with that, which is huge. So yeah, I mean those weapons.
They both got 20. The Nucleon and the Quirker got 20, and I believe the Atomizer got an additional 5, which I don't think the Atomizer needed it at all. It's
Right.
already a powerful weapon. So,
Right. But I was glad to see, that they at least gave us weapons that people are, or not necessarily that people are wanting to use, but are worth using now because of those buffs. And I definitely do recommend, if you don't have those Quarkers, Atomizers, I imagine most people probably have an Atomizer by now. But if you don't have the Quarkers and Nucleons, you might want to consider them, because they are definitely good now. So that's was nice to see. What else was on here? Oh yeah, the pilots.
Hold on real quick. Hey, Zox, we got Zox out there in the chat. Zox, just want to give you a shout out, bud. Great job on the tournament, putting it all together, all the editing, all the videos that you posted up, so everybody could take a first-hand look at the tournament and the teams. Great job, Zox. Thumbs up, my man.
Yep, awesome job, man. The
let's go back to the pilots.
Yeah, the pilots. Man, I don't even know if I want to talk about these. I think they just totally missed the boat on the pilot rework. I mean, I get the idea of them wanting to kind of, increase a little more customization to the game, and you could do that through the pilots and, having multiple tiers now. That's fine. I can accept that. But the cost, I mean, what were they smoking? Like, really? I mean, you're a cop in real life, right? I mean, can you do something about this? I mean, they're definitely on something as far as these costs go.
Well, we need to find the exact individual that did the pricing and send that man to rehab, because damn, and I just cannot explanation point the word damn. What the hell is going through your mind with this pricing? I mean, it's way off the mark. They didn't miss the boat. There was no boat. They're
Right.
just on Harvard on that one, Chief. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It's a ridiculous amount of gold. I understand that it is a paid feature, but come on. I mean, don't make it out of the realm of possibility for anybody to get.
Right. The I mean, the first change they made as far as the promotion cost was cool. I like that. I really do. The lower levels, 500, 1,000, 1,500, those all stay the same. But then you start seeing a savings, instead of 2,500, it's 2,000. Instead of 5,000, it's 2,500. And that last promotion, instead of 7,500, it's only 3,000 now. I thought that was excellent. I thought that was good. It was reasonable. But after that, yeah, they screwed up. I mean, who is going to pay 500 gold to get a random chance at a skill that they probably don't even want? And because of the change of all the added tiers, now the skill you're going after is mixed in there with 4 versions of all of the skills you don't want. So the chance of you actually getting the skill that you're rolling for is pretty much non-existent at this point. It's just, I mean, I don't know who the heck thought that was a good idea. I mean, they should have just left that at 50. I mean, especially because you already are screwing the odds on all of your players of getting something that they want. And they're trying to convince us that, oh, well, hey, look, you have a chance of getting a higher tier. Yeah, that's not a good thing. I mean, to be honest with you, because there's a greater chance you're going to get a tier 1 of some crap that you don't want. And I've already had people tell me that's happened to them with just like the free roll, because with legendary pilots, now they have an extra skill slot, right? Which I thought was cool because, they're making the legendary pilots more legendary. I can get on board with that. But, I had one of the guys I was in squad with the other day, he had a Falcon with Thunder, and he had a maxed out pilot on it. But, he got that free skill. He rolled it, and he got Guidance Operator. I mean, really? Why? Yep. Why is that even an option? I mean, they don't let us roll for a skill unless we equip weapons, which means their system sees the weapons that are equipped. And it also should know that Guidance Operator does not really apply to something like, well, anything other than a lock-on weapon. So it shouldn't even be in the pool. But I've heard of numerous people running into that exact same issue. And that's just it's just costing people gold for absolutely no reason. And that's just kind of crap. The skill to pick, or the cost to pick your skill also went up, and goes all the way up to 2,000. But realistically, after the captain or major level, it's actually cheaper to just buy the skill that you want because of that ridiculous cost for the random rolls. So hopefully nobody that's watching is actually using that random roll, past, the 3rd or 4th skill level, because after that, yeah, you're just better off just pay for the highly taxed gold cost to pick what you want.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of it at all. I really, really don't. I mean, they're just if you're a free-to-play player or a pocket change player, that just puts the mark way out on you now.
Right.
To get what you want.
And then we have the skill tiers, right? They want 500 gold to go from tier 1 to tier 2. They want 1,000 gold to go from tier 2 to tier 3. Now, keep in mind, tier 3 is what we already had. So it's going to cost you an additional 1,500 gold to go from tier 1 to tier 3, which is where everybody already had their levels. That's kind of ridiculous when you consider that each pilot has 7 different skills to do that with. I think they the biggest problem I have with these costs, other than it really makes the pocket change and the free to play players not be able to use these functions at all. I think the biggest problem that I have with it is it removes one of the best features that we had with pilots, and that is to move a pilot from one robot to another and then just re-roll the skills, right?
Right.
I mean, that was an important feature, and because of the costs now, only a fool would actually do that. I mean, and not only that, but like if you have a robot and you're using skills that are weapon based, yeah, you might want to think again. Just don't invest in weapon based skills, because if that weapon gets changed or nerfed or something better comes out or you get something better and you go to put it on that pilot, you got to start all back at the beginning of that skill level, and it is going to cost you a ton of gold. So just
So, I mean, basically, what we have here is you're going to select your hanger, and that is the hanger you're going to play. Period. You know, you're not going to be doing a whole lot of flipping in and out. You're not going to be, having 6 or 7 or 8 bots that you like to play. You want to move things around. You want to use your pursuer. You want to use your strider. You want to use your blitz. You want so many things that you want to just play with. All right. Well, you're going to have to upgrade every single pilot on every single bot. That's going to limit the amount or the selection of bots that people use. So, yeah, it's a bad thing all the way around. There's nothing good about it whatsoever. It's just bad, and it is what it is. We're going to call a spade, and it's bad. It's a bad spade. It sucks completely.
all right. So I put up on the screen what I actually gave Pixonic as feedback to this change. This is the exact thing I gave them as feedback, and it's their own picture. I just made corrections to it. And this is what I would recommend to them. And I understand, I understand they're a business. They need to make money. One of those, ways they make money is through selling gold. And I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine with that, but it needs to be reasonable. And they need to remember that people have 5 robots in their hangar. So that's at least 5 pilots that they need. And each pilot has up to 7 different skills. So anyway, I was on board with, like I said, their changes to the actual promotion of the pilots. I think that savings is great, and could allow people, to shift that gold that they would have been putting towards a promotion now into actually getting the skill increases that they need. Okay, I think they should just totally scrap that whole increase amount for rolling random skills. I think they should completely get rid of the the increased cost for selecting a skill, because that just makes it to where people do not want to change pilots at all. So you're losing one of the biggest selling points of using the pilots, the ability to move it to another robot, or update the pilot when you get new weapons. And then as far as the skill tier cost, yeah, that one I think they were the most off base with, and I think that somebody legitimately just forgot to put the decimal point, because if they added a decimal point, I think the cost would be reasonable. I think since there's 7 skills on each robot, I have no problem with paying 50 gold to go from tier 1 to tier 2, 100 gold to go from tier 2 to tier 3, and then 200 if I have a legendary pilot and want to go to tier 4. Because I mean, that's still going to be times 7 different skills on each pilot. They are going to still make money from selling gold by doing it this way. So they're still going to see an increase in sales, but they make it so much easier on the community. Now, I mean, this was just my idea of what I think they need to do to actually fix this. I'm going to call it a problem, because it is a problem. Their change to pilots, the pricing on it is absolutely a problem, because they did not take into account the actual current economy. Now, they might be planning on changing the economy 6 months from now. We're not aware of it. But they can't implement a crazy thing like this until after they make that change. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just not only bad business practice, but it's just a terrible way to treat your community. If they want to really, I guess, evolve the game and make it more complex, more customizable, cool, that's great. But don't destroy your community and price them out of being able to play your game. It's going to hurt you in the long run. Anyway, sorry for my tangent. I just
No, it was well said, and it needs to be said. And I hope that they revisit this and take a better look at it. I hope it doesn't get brushed off into the background like we have with conversions, where they never even attempted to look at the conversions again. They just left the pricing there as it is, which is conversions are still horrible. This game is such a fun game to play, but as you said, you're going to price yourself out of the market. You're trying to make a dollar where you should only be making a dime at every nick and cranny of the game. Stop, slow down, baby steps. We're going too fast. Relax a little bit. You've been turning a profit for years, and you can continue to turn a profit. But if you price yourself out of the market, it's hard to regain the players that have left the game. It's hard to pull them back into the game. Some will come back, others won't. There's no reason to lose them to begin with.
right. And I don't know. I just I thought when we saw the price of platinum and they released Titans that they were pricing a lot of players out of the game. And in fact, I think that did happen. I mean, I don't have their data. I don't know, how many people, maybe stopped playing because of Titans and the cost of Titans. But I can tell you just through my own experience of being on the battlefield that there is a huge difference between somebody that called on Visa and has a max Titan compared to somebody who is a pocket change player or a grinder and they have a basic level Titan. Huge difference in how they can play the game. And that's a problem because while some of the big spenders might, account for a fair amount of revenue, I highly doubt that 1 or 2% of the real heavy spenders make up anywhere near the revenue that Pixonic gets from the pocket change players.
Yeah, the microtransactions is where it's all at. That's with any business.
So, I mean, I think that, man, I would love to just sit in on one of their board meetings when they're making these decisions, because it doesn't seem as though many people that are making these decisions actually play the game at all, which I think is a shame because it's a hell of a good game and it's been around a lot longer than most mobile games. But to see it, go through changes like this that I know are just going to negatively impact the community as a whole, I don't like seeing it. Which, after having this happen with the 4.2 update, as far as the crazy cost to pilots, they went on and announced drones, which is another topic that we're going to be discussing, right? And I was initially going to make, I like to make videos over, new content. They did release the information to us a little bit ahead of everybody else, so we knew about it so that we could make videos. But, I decided I didn't want to make a video about it, not because I didn't like the idea of drones, but because the community is still trying to digest this crazy gold cost that they just did with the pilot changes. And now they're going to release a big, new feature that is going to cost a ton more gold. I didn't want to bring that negativity to my channel because I just didn't feel it was appropriate. But, you know, they're releasing the information. Either way, you guys all know about drones now. And we'll talk a little bit more about the drones here. But yeah, I could not bring myself to make a video because I could not show that video in a positive light, knowing that it is going to be a crazy additional cost of gold, and I don't know where this gold is going to come from for most players. But I saw your video, Islander.
Yeah, I did make a video. I am a fan of the drones, all right, but I severely fear the cost. You know, I do like the fact or the way that they're setting things up to where you can select a drone to help you in the middle of the match. Brings the variety to the game, okay? But we know it's going to cost power cells, and then power cells already go rapidly in a game as it is. Now we're going to be using power cells for our abilities, and if you need to call a drone in, you're going to call it a power cell. You're going to use power cells for that. And if you have not noticed, all right, people use their power cells pretty frivolous. You know, you can see somebody who's about to die on his last breath. Instead of just allowing another bot to come in, he's going to hit a phase shift, which is going to extend his life for about 3 seconds before that person kills him off. You know, it's just so easy to hit that button now, and it's going to be just as easy for us to hit the drone button to come in and help you out, blow some power cells when you're a fraction away from hell, from death anyways. But I do like the variety. I like the way they're setting it up to where I'm not stuck with a certain ability. I can actually use something else to help me out during a match. I think that's awesome, okay? But I do fear the cost of this.
Right. Well, I think there is a little bit of confusion still with the drones. We were supposed to be able to test them on the test server, but only a couple of people were able to actually get on, and there was really limited drones, and so the whole thing got scrapped. But I don't think the drone is going to operate in a manner where, like, okay, you're in your Fenrir, it's the middle of a match, and you're getting smashed on. Let me go ahead and select a drone to come in. It's not going to work like that. You're going to select a drone from your hangar when you're selecting your robot to drop. There it is. All right, sorry about that little buffering, everybody. YouTube, their servers are sometimes a little bit rough. Anyway, I'm not exactly sure where I got cut off there, but as far as the drones, I like the way the drones are basically like a custom booster that you can use to boost your individual robots, and you can, you know, decide what all you're going to put on it and how it's going to work and when to use it with which robot. I think that's a great idea. But you know, it is going to cost power cells to actually deploy one with your robot when you decide to drop it in the match. So of course there's going to be that now constant drain of power cells, and we still don't really get a lot of power cells unless you buy a lot of event tokens, basically. So there's a lot of people that don't really have a ton of power cells to begin with. So I'm worried about that aspect of it, and I'm worried about the fact that drones are going to cost gold. Some drones will be available for silver, some will be available for gold, but I already know that the silver ones are probably going to be trash, right? I mean, that's just how it is, right? So everybody's going to want to spend gold on the other drones, and then you're going to have to collect all these microchips, and then it's going to cost gold to combine the microchips. So there's going to be a lot of gold cost associated to this, so I'm really worried about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of hoping that we get some other avenues to obtain gold and silver, not necessarily silver. I mean, we could grind silver, but to get gold and platinum, we still need more avenues to obtain that than what we have.
Yeah. I honestly, I wish the Pixonic would stabilize the game's economy before they develop any new features. I think it's really hurting the game at this point. They keep bringing, new features that end up bringing either a whole new currency, like the Titans did, and brought platinum into the game, or they bring a feature out that just puts a huge strain on an existing currency. I mean, I don't know too many people that, even make enough silver to really have a constantly productive hangar, let alone are earning enough gold in the game in any way to keep up with the pilots before the pilot change. So I don't know. I'm not a fan. I'm a fan of the drones idea, but I have too many reservations as far as the cost. So I personally cannot say that they're a good idea. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it does. I mean, the economy definitely needs to be worked on. They made some modifications to it. I don't think it made it any better than what it was. It's just a different way to obtain stuff. But the final payout or the battle rewards, as far as the gold, that didn't go up at all. It stayed the same where it was, and they still have not added platinum any way, shape, or form to the battle reward. So on that part, I think that's bad as well. So they need to really, really take a nice hard look at it, because they're, like you said, or like we said, you're slowly pricing yourself out of a market. Players cannot play the game and grind out stuff. It'll take you a lifetime to obtain enough gold to do anything that you want to do in this game.
Right. I don't know. I think the whole economy needs a hard look. I know they tried to make some changes, and I thought there were some positive changes that were made as far as simplifying the silver payouts. And I have no problem with those changes, though they do still seem somewhat random. But that could just be me. I'm still really disappointed, though, that they are still selling honor boosters after that change, because that's just retarded. Because now people have silver boosters and honor boosters as long as they pay cash, and can totally skew the economy as far as the silver payout goes. Keys are like whatever. There's really no way to gain power cells other than the very small amount you get in the battle rewards crates, which once again is one of those things that tells me that the people deciding these things do not play the game. I think battle rewards definitely needs a hard look, because right now it is still not worth me grinding for that champion level crate. It's just not worth it. Anyway, I had somebody that asked a question, and this was something that we touch on a little bit, just because I know well, I think it is related to the update, but Yusuf was asking why his game crashes when he's playing TDM and Beacon Rush, but not when he's in the arena or playing free for all. And I can't answer this 100%, but I know a lot of people were having some major problems with the game crashing, especially on Android, when this update came out. I think a lot of that has to do with the typical crashes and lag that we see when one of the platforms has an update and the other doesn't yet have the update. I think it's normal to have an increase in lag and crashes until things smooth out. But something with this update really made it worse, and that's why they had to do a hot patch. And most of you probably recognize that there was a second really small update, and that was just a hot fix to try and fix some of the things that were causing so many people to disconnect and crash. And if you are seeing something like that, where you're getting more crashes in TDM and Beacon Rush than you're not seeing it in Arena or Free for All, it's probably because there's far fewer people playing Arena and Free for All, so they're probably on different servers. So you're probably seeing that because there's a lot more people in TDM and Beacon Rush when you're playing.
That sounds good to me. It sounds like a hell of an explanation.
Yeah, he says that he's on iOS, but I mean that's the same thing though, Yusuf. Like I said earlier, like when they have a new update, right? For whatever reason, they still can't manage to give all of the platforms the update at the same time. Even though many other companies manage to do it, for whatever reason, maybe Google Play and Apple just don't like Pixonic or something, but they don't let them do it. But okay, and we're back. Sorry about that delay once again. I don't know what the issue is. Something with YouTube's not too happy right now. But anyway, yes, we are back. I don't know where I was cut off. I can't go backwards and get it all figured out again. I do apologize for that, though. There's really nothing I could do on my end. That's some kind of issue going with YouTube right now.
Yeah, real quick, we got a little chat. Ryan, thank you for the donations, brother. We saw him come in, but we're just kind of caught up in a discussion there. But thank you very much, Ryan.
Yeah, D's nuts. I apologize. I did see him. And thank you. Yeah, I'm getting silenced. That's what it is. They're trying to censor me. No. Anyway, I was trying to just explain that with the update, if we can't play together, and I don't know if iOS and Android are playing together as of right now or not. I think, yeah. So there's still some kind of an issue as far as Pixonic has not put us back together. So no more, so as of right now, we don't have crossplay. So that could be causing additional issues with some of this lag that people are experiencing. But I'm not an expert. That's just what I suspect. All right. So anyway, looks like I'm having some issues here with YouTube. So let me go ahead, open it up at this point. I think we've pretty much covered everything as far as the topics. I mean, was there more that you wanted to add, Eddie, as far as the drones are concerned?
No, not at all. I mean, I think we covered the drones. We could start adding a little bit more once we actually are able to get on the test server and play them a little bit, where we can actually get our feet a little bit wet with it, get a little first-hand knowledge on it, and then we'll be able to come back and have a little bit more intelligent conversation about it. I just kind of hope that they're watching and monitoring everything that's going on with the community and what's being said, what's going on, where they can start adjusting stuff, and they could actually get a head start on adjusting whatever type of pricing they're going to do. Because Toflo did say in his video that they were trying to keep the cost low. Okay. As long as they don't put the guy who was in charge of pricing the, the pilots in charge, I think we'll got to keep that guy away from the.
Yeah, I think as long as the same guy that did the pilots change isn't in charge of the drones, maybe we have a chance of being able to afford them. Let me reconnect here to. Oh no, I'm good. Anyway, let's go ahead and open it up to any questions that you guys might have. Nero asking if we're going to show some gameplay. No, sorry, no gameplay. This is just strictly discussion on Sundays. But yeah, any comments that you guys have over any of the topics or anything that we discussed or haven't discussed, feel free to drop them into the chat, and we'll try and go over those. I do apologize for some of the lag that might be occurring with the stream. There's some issue going on with YouTube right now, and unfortunately, there's not much I can do about it. So we'll just try and muscle through. Oh, is Islander still with me?
I'm here, partner. I'm sorry. I was responding to a text.
Oh, okay. All right. Roger says, when Android players are in the mix, I've noticed battles kind of lean towards which team has more iOS players unless there's an Android squad. Right on, Roger. iOS rules.
Settle down, Roger.
Duran says, I was part of the 1% of the pay-to-win pool, but now after the update, I'm not spending a damn thing. And I can't say I blame you, man.
I can honestly tell you that there's a few guys in my current clan right now that have officially closed their wallets, and deciding not to play, not to spend anymore. Some of them are talking about leaving the game. A few of them have left the game. And that's what I was trying to get at earlier as far as pricing yourself out of a market. When you have guys that are you already have an established customer base, right? Last thing you want to do is go there and frustrate your paying customer. And that's what's going on right now. It's happening in clans everywhere. It's happening not just in clans, but all the way across the game. That's why I think they need to revisit this quick before things start to spiral out of control a little bit.
Nero was asking if I could do a short review on the new pilot for the Loki. I'm not aware of a pilot for the Loki. Maybe you guys know something that I don't.
Nah, he's way ahead of me.
Yeah, there is no legendary pilot for the Loki. I know they did mention that he will probably get one in a dev stream a long time ago, but as of right now, I have not heard of that actually coming out yet. Magic Gaming was asking, do I think legendary pilots will now only be on sale?
Oh, God.
Reconnecting. All right. This whole dropping and reconnecting to YouTube thing is getting annoying already. Apologize for that. I have no idea where I got cut off once again. But anyway, Pyro Robo was asking about the Hawk. My thoughts on it. My thoughts are the Hawk is completely broken right now. It is only really strong against regular robots. Doesn't really do a whole lot against Titans. That needs to get fixed. But that's probably why we have not seen the Hawk with this event like it was originally planned. And that might be why we saw another iteration of the Leech.
Chief, are you there?
Yep.
I just had a complete disconnect.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. Okay, I'm back on.
All right. Well, it looks like we're back, but yeah, I apologize for the crashes, guys. I mean, I'm running at, I got 943 meg download and 40 meg upload right now, so this is something going on with YouTube server. I do apologize for that. No idea where we got cut off. Anyway, Hawk broken. That's why we don't have it. Hopefully they fix it and actually make it decent against Titans and not crazy OP against regular robots. And that might be why we have a Scarab Leech now, because the Leech already had a limited edition robot, but maybe they just threw that together real quick because we weren't getting the Hawk like they had planned. Oh, before we get too far into it, I do have the this week's featured YouTube, the smaller YouTube channels for you guys to check out.
Oh yes, 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 yes.
First one to hit up, I'm going to put a link in there. So as soon as this one finishes, or the next time it is lagging, stop by and check out Darklight WR. That is AD's brother. He does live streams almost every day. Does a pretty good job. Very entertaining. Usually playing with AD Gaming. And then there is another one here. This one is a small YouTube channel that is up and coming. He's got very few subscribers right now, but he does a pretty good job on his videos, and that is Pilot TK421. So definitely stop by, show a little bit of community love to those guys, and I'll put them in the chat once more before we wrap up. But anyway, yeah, definitely hit those guys up for some pretty entertaining videos and live streams. I think Darklight is getting close to 500 subscribers, so maybe we'll be able to push him over the limit there.
Yep.
Anyway, let's go back to some questions here.
Congratulations to Mixpot for breaking the 500. Good job, my man.
Oh yeah, good job on him. And who else was there? Was somebody else that hit their goal. I can't remember. Anyway, I know a couple of the guys that we try to boost up hit their goal. So good job to them, and we'll see what we can do for these fellas. Oh, okay. So it doesn't matter is saying that the Loki pilot is in the training center, but is not yet for hire. So that might be a pilot we're getting with the next operation.
I'm going to jump into the game. I want to see that. Give me 1 second, Chief.
Yeah, I haven't.
Let me log on.
I haven't seen it myself, so.
So if it's going to be a legendary pilot, it's the training center. Let's go. Let's go either confirm that or call that bluff. Give me 1 second. So pilot. Change. Training center. Legends.
Yeah, I'm looking too, just because I have not heard anything about it. Oh yeah, Chester Cohen. All the way at the end there.
We got a confirmation. Yeah. There is no bluff to be called.
Loki repairs. He's all the way on the far right. I'll pop him up on the screen there. Okay. So that's the Loki pilot. It says that Loki repairs a portion of its durability when entering recon mode. When exiting recon mode, stealth deactivates later than usual. So it stays in stealth for, I guess, a second or so while his weapons are out. So that could be a pretty strong pilot.
He's a pretty wicked looking dude, isn't he?
Hey, he looks like me. So yeah,
he's been through a battle or two, no doubt.
So there is a Loki pilot. I think that was probably not supposed to be leaked there, but I imagine it's probably going to be coming in the next operation, which should be starting here in the next few days.
I'm gonna watch that free video, see if we can see if it comes up. No, it didn't come up. I'm gonna try to get it. For the other game. Let's see here.
Ghost Boom Dab earlier said, has anybody reached out to Pixonic to have a top gamers meeting set up with them? It'll allow open thoughts from the players themselves. That's not a bad idea, but what exactly is a top player? You know what I mean? If it's top spenders, I don't know if I would agree with that, because they're only going to bring one side of a conversation. I think that Pixonic does, in some ways, do a decent job of reaching out to the community through all of the different social medias that they're on. I just don't know that they do a good job of communicating that feedback back to the team that's making decisions. That's just my thoughts on it.
Doesn't matter with the $1.99 or $2 donation. Thank you, but no bluff here, fellas.
Yeah,
that's right.
Right
yeah,
on.
You definitely educated us here, and you know what? We learned just as much from you guys as you learned from us. So, thanks for the info, buddy. I got I mean, everything seems normal as far as from what I'm watching.
There it is. All right. No, there's the lag. I can see it lagging now.
There it goes. Look at the.
All right.
Fly up.
A little bit of lag. Damn it.
Go ahead and ask your question again. Maybe.
All right. Here's a question that I have. How come everything for sale on Android is $1 less than on iOS? Like, seriously, everything is $1 less on Android. Like, for example, where's that I don't see the pilot here. But like yesterday, they offered a pilot. I think it was the Ravana pilot.
Virginia Walker?
No.
Or the Poe pilot?
Yeah, or I think there was Poe pilot for sale, and it was like $24.99 on iOS, but it was $23.99 on Android. But it's always like that. Like everything, like every item that is actually sold is $1 less on Android. I don't understand why.
Probably down to maybe Apple having some type of service fee for the transaction, charging Pixonic. Pixonic passes it on. Now this is just a random guess, so don't quote me on that. But maybe something in the transaction that an extra fee is added from iOS.
Yeah, I mean that's possible. I find it annoying every time I watch a YouTube video of an Android player and I see them get a deal and it's $1 cheaper. I mean, not that I'm paying for that crap anyway. I mean, I'm not going to pay $40 for a pilot. That's just crazy. But I'm sure some people do.
Well, I'll tell you what, based on what people spent in the last event, they would have been better off just buying the pilot like that outright.
That's true.
Well, they would actually save a whole lot of money.
Let's see. Consao? I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm saying the name right. He was asking what happened to the QR for Titans. It's a good question. I wouldn't say it's never going to come, but for whatever reason, they did not bring it to the live server. And I'm not going to complain about that because I think that Titans should not have QR. Just at all.
I'm going to agree with Chief on that. The Titans are overpowered enough as it is. There are very few bots that can give it some type of damage, can put a dent in that big machine, and that would be some of the stealth bots. And I don't think that it needs quantum radar. It's more than powerful enough as it is. Something like an Al June with a death mark and glaciers will probably take 5, 6, maybe 7 passes before it can kill off a Titan. The Titan does not need quantum radar. 100%.
Right. Rico Down Enda had a question. What do you see as the current meta robots? Ravana. I mean, with a sprinkling of maybe a Blitz here or there, and Ao June still finding its way, and a Nightingale here and there. But yeah,
Yeah,
mostly
I
Ravana.
would definitely say Ravana's, Nightingales, Bliss is in there. Aljuns never left the meta. They've always been a part of it at some point. They're not what they once were, but they're still there. Uh, as far as other bots, you'll see a Phantom here and there, but I wouldn't necessarily call them meta. They're just still very competitive bots, uh, more in some modes than others. But the Blitz with that new pilot has definitely springboarded its way up.
Right.
So, and you can expect to see the Scorpion, which is a devastating bot. It really, really is.
I think Scorpion. I think once the Hawk comes out, if it's anything like it was on its S server, I think we're gonna see nothing but Scorpion, Ravana, and Hawk. That's it.
Yeah, the Aljun will make its way or make its exit pretty soon. But I did make that prediction as well when they nerfed it. Okay, and the Aljun was able to hang in there and still remain part of the meta. So early prediction is that this will be the exit door for the Aljun, but I have been proven wrong before. So
Right.
the final proof is in the pudding once everything lands.
Well, I think the Hawk makes sense to just take the place of every Aljun on the field. Similar weapon setup, actually more weapons, but you can use those same weapons that you had on your Aljun, transfer them directly to a Hawk. They both play very similar, but the Hawk is going to be much more deadly. So that's going to be the way to go.
I hope that answers your question, buddy.
Yep. And Magic was saying he missed the question on legendary pilots. I'm not sure what he's talking about. Let me go ahead and throw these links back in to the chat once more. Don't forget to drop by and pay a visit to Darklight WR. That is AD Gaming's brother. Does live streams all the time, usually with AD, and puts on a pretty entertaining stream. And the other one is Pilot TK421. Let's see if we can't show a really small channel, a lot of community love, and help boost his numbers up. He puts in a decent amount of work to his videos, so definitely stop by and check him out.
He does do a lot of crate openings. That's why I love to go watch. I love to see what other people get in their crates, and he does do a fair amount of crate openings. So if you like to see what other people get similar to me, definitely swing by and check that out, boys and girls.
Nero says he thinks the Phantom will come back to the meta because a lot more people can get the Phantom for free since the current event. I doubt it, to be honest with you. There's just too many things stacked up against the Phantom right now. I think the Phantom is. We're just going to see fewer and fewer of them on the battlefield, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, at the current moment, the Phantom is very nice, it's very strong. I run one in my hangar. I do exceptionally well with it. But once that ability runs out for the Phantom, and if you have a Scorpion that's anywhere close by, he's going to teleport right behind you. You're going to be at a disadvantage, and he's gonna mash potato you.
Concio is asking, is the leech gone? I mean, there's still people that run the leech, but yeah, the leech is not really meta. It's, I think it's, I think
It had
it's
a very short stint there.
yeah, it had a very strong showing in the meta for a very short period of time, and they successfully nerfed the crap out of the leech without ever actually nerfing it. But yeah, I honestly I haven't run a leech in quite a long time. You still see some people running them, but they just really are not strong, especially since leeches are usually a mid to late match robot, and that's when Titans are out, and leech can't do anything against Titan.
Yeah, I mean the mitigation just chews right through the leech. If you did want to drop one and you want to drop one early, the weapon setup I would recommend for it would be actually something with range. Honestly, uh, either scourges or wasp, uh, pulsars, atomizers work really really good for that early onset to help you get into a titan a little quicker. But if you're going to try to drop it mid match or late match, you may run into a whole lot of drama.
Yeah, if you really want to annoy people, go with the wasp build.
They suck.
They're strong. They are strong.
No doubt.
They
You know,
but
Wasp is definitely a weapon that is underappreciated. It's not readily used. But when you get hit with them, you're gonna wonder why you didn't have them.
Roger says Spectre has more staying power than the Leech. And in some ways, I would agree with that because the Spectre can jump and stealth. Conciao said, Cheap and Eddie, I have a suggestion. Maybe make a live stream and play a couple of games, but for each game, pick up a couple of viewers and play like a squad. That sounds a lot more fun than it would actually be, to be perfectly honest with you. And it's just so hard to coordinate something like that. And I honestly wouldn't want my viewers to be put in that situation. I mean, I ran squads the other night for the first time in this meta, and it sucked. Those matches were freaking boring. I mean, they legitimately just sucked. It wasn't fun, and it would be way worse with trying to play with viewers in a full squad. I mean,
Now if we win, we get our cross platform back, and we can actually invite each other to a squad. Maybe a Hanger X match, because if you're gonna go out there and try to match up and run into full squads, you're gonna run into 4 or 5 Ravana's at the current moment, or you're not gonna bring the same gear to the table to be ready for that. But a Hanger X, that might be possible, Chief. We could maybe set up a couple of matches, something like that.
maybe. But it's still tough to coordinate. I mean, and make it fair for everybody. I don't know. I've just always shied against it. I have played, a couple times with viewers, but it's just, it's just difficult to do it on the live servers. But yeah, something like Hanger X might be a little bit of fun. All right. Well, I think that is going to wrap it up, everybody. Let me throw these links in there for you guys one last time, and thank you all for coming and hanging out with us. I do apologize for some of the lag going to YouTube. Unfortunately, it's just been some issues with YouTube servers lately. Hopefully it will be resolved soon, but hit those two fellas up, both of those channels there. You won't be disappointed. They both have some pretty good content. Eddie, thanks again for a great podcast. It's always good.
Absolutely. I enjoy doing it. A lot of fun. I love coming out here, spending time with you guys every Sunday. Those of y'all that take time out of your Sunday to come hang with us, it is greatly appreciated, guys. This podcast has built up. I think when we started, we had like 10 or 12 people who would come by, and now we're picking up over the hundreds, and it's just going to grow from there. So every Sunday, guys, it's all about you guys and the camaraderie that we share with y'all. Appreciate your love.
Yep, everybody, stay safe out there. Stay away from that, Rona virus stuff. Try and have a little bit of fun with the game, and until the next one, guys, Chief out.